Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Tuesday morning. Hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend and stayed safe and had a lot of good barbecues and all, and getting ready to start the month of September. It's amazing. Here we are. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today 93, low 78, and the water temperature is right at 87 degrees. We didn't get to do our Monday moon forecast yesterday, so let's do our Tuesday moon forecast, brought to us by Mountain Dew. Take it outside with Mountain Dew. And speaking of yesterday, I hope you enjoyed that video on the museum there. It's amazing at all that stuff there and all those mounts and everything. And I know the center part of that when you saw Terry Bradshaw jump in the water after rod and reel, that was a knee-jerk reaction. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go to YouTube and watch yesterday's show. It was really enjoyable. Okay, now let's move on. We're looking at we got the tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today, September 3rd, not much tide today, but looking at the weekend, we're getting back into some really strong tides for the weekend. So that looks real good right there. Marine forecast north-northeast at about 12 to 15. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Hope you're getting ready for a big week and all and got a little bit of rest. And let's get started with some pictures. I want to show you this very first one here. I laughed when this happened. Let me give you the location now. This is Deer Point Lake. We're on the west side of the Deer Point Dam, the landing on the freshwater landing on the west side of the Deer Point Dam. I backed in there. But this big puddle you see, I backed through the puddle, so I thought I was going to be out of it. But when I ended up back in the boat and opened the door, I was actually in the puddle. So I pulled back down, and I couldn't get out of my truck because of the puddle, so I had to go to the edge of the ramp. So I just wanted to show y'all a picture of that. And also, Bill Dozier, if you're watching, would you please get some county workers to fill in that spot so I won't get my feet wet next time. But anyway, that's what happens a lot of boat ramps. That's a good boat ramp there. There's not a whole lot of parking, but it is a really good boat ramp. And you're right on the south end of Deer Point Lake, and you can really do some good cruising from right there. So I like that ramp. Okay, this coming Saturday, saltwater license-free fishing, okay? All throughout the state, it's a good time to give a chance to some folks who may not have a license and all. Of course, our bag limits and everything will be the same, but it's saltwater license-free fishing all day long Saturday. A lot of y'all ask about my little Whitney, and here she is, her first day of college. I showed you her first day of high school last year, and she's going to a little junior college up there in Franklin, Tennessee. But this is her first day, and they sent me a picture and all. And she said, "Tell everybody hello on Panhandle Outdoors," and she loves college. They don't have to go to class as much. I think that's why they like it. This is a picture. This is Donaldson Point, or they call it Point Donaldson on the map. We've always called it Donaldson Point, over there on the east side of town. Before you get to the Tyndall Bridge, everybody knows what Point Donaldson. Beautiful area. This is a picture of it before the hurricane, and I know this is not a recent picture. It's several months back, but what a contrast. Here it is after the hurricane. Okay, this is a lot of people. I've seen a lot of pictures. This one really stands out to me. That's why I wanted to share it with you. First, it looked like a fish head from an area view, but look at it before the hurricane and after the hurricane. So that is still amazing to me. Okay, Michael Harris sent this in. Look at Braden. He caught that on top water with lightweight rod and reel and drag backed up. A good job, Braden Harris. Braden turned out to be a really good fisherman, runs in the family. Okay, this is all the way from South Walton High School. Mr. Chester, a great start to the school year. We had an archery introduction. We're working on FWC boater safety. We had our first outdoor archery practice. Got a fish fry and pregame tailgate with the outdoor club from Nick Borthwick at South Walton. Since I asked him when he started outdoor to please send me some pictures of these kids doing outdoor things. That's a great picture. Every class in America should have an archery class. The kids love to shoot archery. It is a wholesome activity, And these are the kids of South Walton. Here's a little selfie. Look at all those kids. Look at the smiles on their faces. Isn't that cool? Good job, Coach Borthwick. Good job over there. Okay, well, the scallop season is wrapping up now. 12 days from now, I'm going to wrap up on right here, September the 15th. Make sure you have that on your calendar. I want to think that is on a Sunday, the 15th. Okay, Panama City Fishing Club, the King Mackerel Tournament, September 21st. Okay, and check it out. The captain's party is going to be over there, Marine Max and everything. But Panama City Fishing Club King Mackerel Tournament, September 21st. The old timers appreciate this. It took me 30 minutes to find the butter at Grandma's house. Remember, Grandma used to have all those butter dishes he saved and put all the leftovers in them, so the refrigerator would be full of all that, and you couldn't really find the butter. So I brought back some memories there. Day 9 without going fishing. I lost vision in my left ear. Okay, I hope you appreciate that. I got a few more pictures. That's enough for now. Okay, one of the things I was going to talk about, I don't know if I said a full moon. Did I show y'all the full moon? The full moon is going to be on the 14th, okay, the 14th of this month, which is the weekend, that's next weekend. Anyway, I always like, the full moon is important to me every month. Last week, we had some stories. You remember the 2 firemen that got lost at sea off the east coast of Florida down in South Florida? It was a tragedy. You don't know what happened. They searched hard for them, and there's 2 really good guys, outdoorsmen, and they really didn't have an EPIRB. If they had an EPIRB, there would be. I can't overemphasize the importance of EPIRB. And then also last week I saw where two guys out they were backpacking out west and all up in the mountains, and they were going to try to take a shortcut, and they got lost, and they were going for they got lost, big time lost. And one of the guys, I saw the interview with one of the guys they found, and the other guy was backed up. They found him too. Both of those guys survived. And one of the survivors, when he's talking, he said it basically ate berries and ants. Now you think that sounds silly on a morning like this, but that's the kind of nutrition he had. And he said every time he got close to water, he would drink water out of that stream. It's a mountain stream. He would drink water, but he would just sit there and let that water hydrate himself and then move on. And he was a very good survivalist. He was 56 years old, had a great interview with him, had a positive attitude. He said he could hear the planes flying over, but it's so dense and all, he just couldn't wave at them and all. So he stayed out there 1 week, and he slept on moss. Great survival story, but I was saying here's 2 guys that are found, here's 2 guys that are lost. So it happens all the time with experienced outdoorsmen. Just be, if you're going to do offshore, if you're going hiking way back, be prepared and have your emergency plan B ready. I felt led to just talk to y'all about that, because some of y'all do things like that. And when we go fishing, we just do not go offshore anymore without an EPIRB. We just don't go without one. So make sure you learn about those and all. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us. If you got any folks that maybe want to advertise on Panhandle Outdoors, we get great results on it. I can vouch for that from so many people and so many businesses. We have a couple of slots open, and we'd love to have you come on as a sponsor. Just always keep that in mind. I'd be glad to talk to you about it. We're not pushy. We don't go around selling ads and things, but it's a win-win for everybody. Also, fall it'll be right around the corner. You know how we like to do a fall sweepstakes. And that'll be coming up. We got all kind of neat things this fall to give you. One really unique thing that you have a chance to win. So keep that in mind. That's coming up. We're going to talk more about it maybe end of this week or next week. We're going to talk about our fall sweepstakes and make sure you've registered. And I'm probably, see all these right here? These are all the winners we've had, okay? All these folks right here have won this year. I may put y'all back in the pickle jar, give y'all a chance to win again. But in fact, I think I will. I feel good about that. Just think I might do that. Okay, also, this is not outdoor related, but how I have this hang up about traffic, how bad the traffic is and all that. And I talk about, remember I was telling y'all the other day about how people gotten so bad about running red lights. And it really has. And I think because all these out-of-towners came in with this construction industry and all, and they're used to running red lights in their towns. They were doing it here. Now us locals say it's okay, so a lot of people are running red lights. Well, a lot of times people just think I just say that off the top of my head. Look at here. Read this headline right here. Deaths caused by drivers running red lights at a 10-year high. Okay, did I not just say that? So I'm saying that, the reason I'm bringing it up on the show, be careful. I've got to wear, and I don't do it every time, but we just got, when the light turns green, you really need to sort of look and make sure nobody's coming, because a lot of times there's another fool going to get one more second of life and try to put everybody else in danger. The average, there's 2 lives a day lost in the United States of America by people running red lights. That's what the average statistic, I looked it up, 2 a day. So sometime today, 2 people are going to lose their life by someone running red lights. So let's move on now. Let's go to something more pleasant. I found that I like, looking things up and all and just sharing with you. And 10 big trends in the U.S. deer harvest. This is interesting. Just 10 trends. Okay, I'm just going to sort of mention it to you. I won't go into a lot of detail. Bow hunting is on the rise. Okay. A lot of people in the bow hunting, that's why I was talking about the archery in a class like those school classes. That's really good stuff. Freezers are being filled early. 26% of the deer harvest was in the freezer before opening day of the gun season. So that means the archery guys and girls are taking them. And also tracking dog legality. And what this is when a deer is wounded, having the legal right to have a dog to try to track him down, like a bloodhound, to try to find him. And it's legal now in 35 states, and these are the states, the green ones, where it's legal, which I thought was a good idea. And okay, 1 in 10 deer are taken on opening day. That's interesting. 11% of total deer harvest. There's more bow hunters per square mile. In 2018, 41% of hunters shot at least one deer. That statistic surprised me. 41% of the hunters shot a deer that are deer hunting. That's a pretty good list right there. In Arizona, 69. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Arizona had on 12%, that's such a big state, and I think everybody's just sort of out there walking through the mountains and all. But South Carolina, 69%. I mean, 7 out of 10 hunters got a deer in South Carolina. I just got a kick out of that. Longer seasons, hunters average 12 days hunting. Mississippi is the longest one that got 25 days. Here's one interesting. Deer vehicle collisions are climbing. We've talked about this before. It's just at nighttime, you just got to be careful. There's an 8% jump in that. And okay, that's all those right there. I just wanted to go on deer trends. Also, when I do that, one thing I talked to y'all about these magazines. I just got a handful of them last night. All right, I'm gonna just show them to you that I like to read. Okay, here it is right here. Game and Fish. Okay. Florida Sportsman. This is a CCA one, they call it Tide, and then Turkey Country. And then I also have the one on from Buckmasters. And and of course the magazines are thinner now, but I'm still a magazine kind of guy. And a lot of y'all, they're really good information on them. And I was trying to think last night, if I gleaned from these 4 magazines now, if I was trying to just highlight some things to share with you, some of the things that are just year after year that are so important for outdoorsmen. Number 1, I wrote down, and they mentioned in several different articles, whether fishing or hunting, one of the words I kept saying, persistence. And you stop and think about that. If you're a turkey hunter, if you're a tarpon fisherman, if you're a red fisherman or whatever, that persistence pays. You just got to stay after it. And I thought that is so true. And I saw that in 2 or 3 different articles. And another one I wrote down on fishing, a couple of articles, was make sure follow the birds. How many times we talked about that here? Follow the birds. Okay, and this Game and Fish has come out with a new format. There used to be like Alabama Game and Fish, whatever, but now it's one national publication. And then about halfway through, like on page 42, they break it down into a regional. Okay, they broke it down like the East, the South, Midwest, and West. There's 4 different ones, but a lot of magazines have done that. You go through 40 pages of just generic stuff, but then on page 42, and this one they're talking about dove shoots, because in the South, of course, the fall is great dove shooting. But that was interesting in that magazine. And let's see. Oh, in Florida Sportsman, there's an interesting article here about red snapper season is over, and so many people now, so many of these captains or guides that are just going near shore, a little bit offshore, they're targeting can't use red snapper, but amberjack is a big target. Grouper, but they can't find much grouper. So what they're going to are the snapper, the lane snapper, the gray snapper, or the mango snapper, those small ones that you check the season, but they're not big red snapper, but they're really good eating. And if you look at a headboat picture, all summer long, if you look at a headboat picture, most of those are those kind of fish. In the old days, those fishermen would throw all those back and just keep those big red snapper. But now, what they've done is evolved. The market has evolved where these captains and these charter boat, all these guys on these headboats and all that run them and have those companies, they know if somebody's coming down from Tennessee or something, they catch some beeliners, they're tickled with that. And it's good eating. So it's just interesting how that market has evolved throughout Florida and also over in Mobile and into Mississippi, how people are catching those kind of things now instead of the big red snappers and big grouper. All right, let's take a final break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Glad you're with us this Tuesday morning. Let's take a look at our fishing game forecast brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 4:14 to 6:14 this morning. This evening from 4:40 to 6:40. And it's just speaking of Port St. Joe and St. Joe Bay, it has been a prosperous and abundant year on scallops. And we've talked a season on scallops, and we've talked about it, but we're winding down on it. And September, we want to talk about again the importance of September to the outdoorsman. September is just a cool month. You think about what I think about in September. First thing I think about is cool mornings, and second thing, high school football. September brings those cool mornings, and if you get a chance to enjoy that. And I made a list here, but I want to look at one of the things that we need to remember. I've showed this chart before. I'm going to show it again. September, this is a water temperature in September, okay? It's for the whole year, but I want you to look at the bottom right. Look at September. Okay, I'll see September right here. Now go up and see that where the graph starts going down. This is when our water temperature starts cooling down. That is just so critical in the fishing, in the migration, and the behavior of our local fish. Any fish anywhere, but right here. So we look at September, then October, and this one is what we call the fall run. So to keep it in my format, I like to do different times of the year and all. September, I got 10 things for us to do in September, so let me get through them real quick. So 10 outdoor things that you would love to do. I just wrote them down, scribbled them down last night. I didn't use a computer or anything. I just hand wrote them out. Number one, these are opportunities you can take advantage of with you and your family and friends. You can go crabbing. September is a great month to go crabbing. Walk along the beach with a net, the bait system. Great time to go crabbing. Number two, I've mentioned this before, plant a food plot. And what people are going to on food plots, I won't go into a lot of detail about it, but what they're going to now, they said these huge, where you have to spend a lot of money on seeds. They're buying these packages and just doing little small packages of just grow anywhere without tilling and all. I don't know, this right here, I saw someone talk about it, but food plots, you just plant a patch here and plant a patch there and don't have to till it in and all that. You just throw the seed out, and what the birds don't get, it'll grow. So that's one way to do it. We'll talk more about planting a little bit later. I'll get Ronnie on here. Number three, great time to go snorkeling, okay? But be careful, check, I hate to say this, but you gotta check now the water quality. And the health department puts out these health advisories. And if you look at those closely, they'll start at the west end of the beach and come all the way to Tyndall at different spots and all. And you look at that water advisory, and a lot of times there's water advisories at those checking points that when they say it's could be, well, it's not safe now. It's not creeping fasciitis. It's not that, but a lot of times some fecal matter in the water and all. So check it, find you a good place, and if you look on those charts and familiarize yourself. Number four, kayaking, canoeing in the fall. The leaves start changing. That's great. Number five, fly fishing on the river. I put that in almost every one of them. Number six, gather some firewood. Now there's wood all over the place from the hurricanes. It's still green, but it's leaning over. Cut some oaks about that size. It's a great time to do that. Okay, number seven, this is to myself. finish your ground blind, finish your deer stands. Make sure in September everything should be finished by the end of September. And your shooting lanes and all, get all that done. Number 8, visit a state park. Great time to visit a state park. They're all open, and some of them have some trees down, but they're still in pretty good shape. Now, like St. Joe is sort of limited. You can't go across there to the campground still. Number 9, frogging. Okay, good time of year. The frogs are fat. There's some fat frogs right now, so good time to go frogging. And number 10, I wrote this interesting. Prepare for October. This is interesting because October, we got a fall run, we got a dove shoots, and we're going to be cast netting. Those 3 things. So check your cast net. Make sure you check your dove decoys. Make sure you got all those. Make sure you got your shell shots, everything the right size. On the fall run, start checking, and I do this. Check your surf rods, your lines, and all that. Make sure you're prepared. So when you get that urge to go, say I'm gonna go in the morning, whatever, you just throw it in the truck and go. Not get up there and then something be wrong with the line, or you don't have all your stuff and all. So those 10 things right there will be September to-do list and the outdoors. Okay. Let's see. Also, I don't have time to get into it. I do want to mention there's a big push now to put in a new toll system, new road system in Florida. And one of the things they're doing is they're going to be cutting through the Point Washington Forest, Apalachicola National Forest down south, and all putting new roads. I'm against all of that. I'm not against progress and great transportation. My feelings on that is, why don't we just go ahead and just expand the roads that are already there, just make them add lanes to them. Doesn't that make sense to you? Instead of cutting through a national forest, through a state forest and making a new road through it. And we've got to get behind this and jump on this. And they've got a study team out now, and it's going a lot of people that are against it, that sort of wants to look at it. The idea sounds great, so we move people faster. But take I-75, which is bumper to bumper. What is it, 4 lanes now, whatever, make it 8 lanes, but use the same, just make it bigger. Don't cut areas all through the Ocala National Forest and that stuff like that. Okay, I got to get out of here. I want to expound on that more. Just check it out. You have a great day today. Enjoy your work, enjoy your friends, do something good for your fellow man, and enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.